up, my guys? We are back. This is the Juice Box. I totally got in the zone and just almost missed my cue, but we're good. We got a guest with us on the pod tonight. Little Teddy Jr. here on my lap. What's up, Teddy? Big Czar, what is up?
Not a whole lot. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be back in front of the camera this week. Ready to talk it up.
Yeah, big night for the Valley last night. Having WVU in Pittsburgh playing. Truly, I mean, I know it's probably hard to figure out, but I wonder how many times in history, like, that's ever happened where a WVU football team and like the Steelers have played on a Thursday night.
Has it ever happened?
I
It may have never.
I would guess it's probably the first time, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. Never thought of that.
Are Thursday games a more modern thing for college, or has there always been Thursday games?
They've done it for a while. I can remember going to I think it was WVU versus Colorado.
Yeah.
Really?
Thursday nighter when we were in like early high school. I feel like
damn.
it was.
I went to an Auburn game and
Yeah.
I think we had one when we were in college. I think it was Kansas State, maybe,
Dude.
Yeah.
and it was freezing cold.
We
It was sweet though.
one year when we were in college, there was a Thursday night game that just it happened to be Halloween.
Oh yeah.
I think.
it was against TCU
I'm
actually.
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I forgot about that.
That was a fun night.
I don't mind Thursday games. Like I know it's kind of fun because it kind of just makes you kick your weekend off early if you weren't planning on it.
Yeah, as an adult, it kind of sucks just a little bit because then most likely you have to work the next day. But in college, I mean, Thursday night games were all the rage. Dude.
Yeah.
Like you started your weekend a day early for sure.
For sure.
Had a lot, like you'd go to, if you went to the game, you went to the tailgate, like whatever. If it was a home game, and then you just kept the night going.
I was gonna say I feel like we walked straight to Fats probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I think it was Kansas State I'm thinking of when it was like probably late October and it was just it was dark and rainy and cold and it was kind of miserable, but we went anyway. But it was just still a blast.
Football, baby.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Is this the first time in WVU history we've had 3 Thursday night games in a season?
Probably.
It's
I
gotta be,
can't
right?
remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any teams that I can ever think of that ever play Thursday nights unless like you're in like one of the conferences that has like that night game like Friday.
Right.
But yeah, no, dude, it's probably the first time that we've ever had 3 Thursday night games.
And they're all, I don't know about, I can't speak for the Baylor game, like who's broadcasting it, but Pitt and Virginia Tech were both primetime
I think ESPN
games.
I think it's ESPN again for Baylor. And I mean, WVU's in a very weird situation where like, yeah, they're sitting there at 2-2. Now these losses to Pitt and Kansas obviously aren't looking bad. And then you have a guy like Louis Riddick yesterday who, like I don't like him as an analyst, but I like him as a commentator who basically like both of them were speaking very highly of us, truly.
The talent on the team is there. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and like place blame on people. I don't want to get into all that, but like, I do feel like there are some teams that just hit their stride after a couple games. And I think that's the difference maker between like top programs
For sure.
and middle tier ones. Like those top programs find a way to come out firing on all cylinders from the jump.
It's just like it's different because when we're on offense now, I'm not praying that something bad doesn't happen versus now when we go on offense, I'm like, we're about to score a fucking touchdown.
It's exciting again.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like the last 2 years, the offense comes out and you're almost like walking on eggshells.
it's like,
like
damn.
real nervous.
Where's the Daggy pick out? Where's the
Right,
fumble?
right.
But now JT comes out on the field and I'm like, let's go, baby. Sucking toes tonight. Like I get fired the fuck up
Yeah.
every time he comes out.
He's
Yeah.
got a lot of confidence.
We do throw a lot of swing passes.
We do.
Did you notice how the game started off last night? We were all bitching
3
about
in a row.
3 plays in a row was all swing.
But like what's so weird is and I get it, like you script the first couple and then you change it throughout how you see the defense is playing, but then we ran him like the first however many plays, and then I feel like we barely saw it again for the rest of the entire game.
Yeah.
It's like Graham was like, nope, we called these 3 plays.
It's like
We're running these
it's
3.
like he just got him out of the way.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was like, the bubble screen has been like a WVU staple since like Rich Rod.
For sure.
Like every year. Dude, there used to be a guy that sat behind us at the stadium every game, and he'd always just be yelling, "Goddamn bubble screen."
Dude,
That's what I always think of.
Is that the hockey equivalent of scream and shoot?
Yeah,
in the
pretty much.
stands? I love that.
remember Jock Sanders would get the wide receiver. Dude, yeah. We've had some studs for sure.
Did you see this? I think you retweeted it. The stat of C.J. Donaldson. He's like tied with so Steve Slayton had the number 1. He had 8 touchdowns in the first 4 games in one season.
Okay.
And then he's leading in the first 4 games for WVU, like touchdowns or rushing touchdowns. And then like C.J. Donaldson has like 6 or something. And then the second highest record was Steve Slayton with 6 in a season. So it's like he has just as many touchdowns as like Steve Slayton did in the first 4 games of one season. My point being, I feel like he could have even more touchdowns if he was given the ball more. You know what I mean?
His yards per carry average, like across the season's got to be high. Dude, he just chunks yardage.
Dude, we were bitching last night. We're like, when are they finally going to put a prop on him for a sports book? Like, you can't bet any props on him, and I probably would have bet like over 100 alternative yards every game going forward. He's unreal, and I saw his. They tagged him on Twitter, so I clicked on it. Very like humble dude, like has like 1,000 followers. It's like, how does a guy, which I'm grateful he's at WVU, don't get me wrong, but it's like, how does a guy 240, supposed to be a tight end, just emerge on the scene, becoming one of the probably most dangerous pound for pound yards per carry runners in the whole Big 12? It's insane.
It is insane. It's always fascinating how stuff like that happens, guys that switch positions and just become fucking studs.
Well, speaking of that, they need to put frickin' Garrett Wheels Green at frickin' the slot receiver, like you said.
Why have they never
He's
tried
so
that?
fast.
I would like to see him.
That
in
run
the
he had
game.
last week, dude, he's like
Could he
faster than
not
anyone
catch?
on our team.
I've never understood that.
It's possible. He might
because
just have bad hands.
They would always, what year was it? They brought him in a quarterback all the time, and the entire nation knew he was running the ball.
Right, exactly. That was last year.
Yeah.
And I know this is 2 completely different sports, but if he's an absolute stud in baseball, I'm assuming he can figure out how to catch a ball. Like, I'm
Yeah.
assuming he'd be able to
Yeah.
catch a football.
Yeah.
Get him out there.
Well, I
Seriously.
want him to join the baseball team. He was talking about it.
Sick.
I saw that. That would be cool. But I agree. Like, I think he's a weapon that you can't just let sit there. Like, I understand the whole, like, yeah, if you bring him in, he's under center or whatever at quarterback, chances are he's probably running the ball. So,
For
like,
sure.
maybe that's not an effective thing. But, like, I don't know. Fucking create some weird packages. You know what I mean? Bring him in every now and then where he's just in the backfield. Or
Yeah,
like,
for real.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like,
just
why
put the
not?
ball in his hands. He's a hell of an athlete.
You
He's a
could-
hell of an
You
athlete.
could literally flex him in the slots kind of and line him up like where you would in like a spin series and wave him out, wave him
Right.
in. Like, just have him out there so people are like, listen, it's probably not going to him, but if it does, this kid is faster than every single one of us.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we've run any types of plays with 2 backs behind the quarterback. We don't do that often.
Right.
You could, I don't know. I'm
You know-
not the OC.
Yeah. Yeah, and I will say I agree with that. And Graham, we trust. I'm happy he's here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I thought last night. This is why I really wanted to go to this game when I saw it was on the schedule. But then once it was a Thursday, it was like, all right, probably not going to happen.
Can't happen.
The opening Virginia Tech Sandman has to be
Bro.
like the most like I had Goosey
So did I.
standing down here.
We were
night.
talking about it last night too. I'm like, this is absolutely electric. Their whole entrance is just so sick. I would love to, like you said, just be there to
Just see
witness
it.
that.
Yeah.
I can't think of one I've seen that is that electric.
I agree.
I think Penn State's got a really cool intro.
Okay, now I'm thinking. So Penn State has one. Clemson runs down the hill, but that's not as like crazy as that. That's really the only 3 teams I can think of that do really anything running onto a field. Like I mean, knowing, like, just imagine the optics, which they used to do this when VT's like a top 10 team in the country, Saturday night, Thursday night prime time, and you hear that as an opponent, and you're like, oh fuck, we're literally in the battle of our life.
I'd get hyped too.
Yeah,
Being
for
on the
real.
opposite
Like,
side.
I know.
I was texting Gaff just a little bit ago. He was there. He said one of the top college football atmospheres he's experienced. I believe it.
Yeah, I
believe
believe
it.
it.
I
too.
told him, I said, dude, you should have seen it on TV. They like ESPN made a point to like show the whole process, the whole intro. It was pretty cool. So,
And I mean, I don't know if it's just because I'm so excited that football's back, but there have been multiple instances, and it might just be because cameras and audio and stuff's getting better. But when I'm watching games and I'm like, I don't ever remember stadiums being this loud. Like, I know it's been a couple weeks now, but I don't know if I told this story. I was in the hotel getting ready to watch the Seahawks versus the Broncos, and I had the TV turned up a little bit, like, because I wanted to hear it. I had to turn the TV down because that was the loudest crowd noise that I've heard in a football game in a long time. Same with last night, like same at the Pitt game.
I agree about
it's wild.
The Broncos Seahawks game, like just because it was Russell Wilson coming back, and it was
so loud.
I mean,
when they have like the loudest stadium in the NFL, don't
the
they?
whole 12th man shit or whatever. But when we were on offense, like, dude, it literally was the loudest thing I've ever heard.
I'm not kidding. I had to turn the volume down like 7 ticks because I was like, holy shit, I don't want to wake up the person next to me.
Do 8 next time. You got to keep it.
Isn't that so weird how just like 2 years ago you were watching games and they were just dead silent?
Yeah, dude, right? The
no
only
crowd noise.
The only thing I miss about that is not for football, but it was for UFC because you could just hear the punches on your dudes' faces, and it just for some reason it made it fucking awesome.
That is weird though. Like, that is something we can talk about now because you really don't like now that it's past. It's like whatever, but yeah, that was so weird. You literally just watched a game and heard nothing but the commentators.
Like, you know how weird that'll be. You know how like as years go by, like decades pass, and like on certain channels they'll play like old classic games. Mm-hmm. Say you're watching one day and a game comes on from that year. Like somebody that's, like 10, 15 years from now, like say I have a kid.
Yeah.
And in 15 years, he's 15. He's like watching that game comes on. He's like, why the hell is it so fucking quiet? Like he wouldn't get it.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
We'll be able to make up so many funny things. Well, son, that was the 2 years the zombies.
Bro, dude,
like, you can say whatever you want.
Dude, I was going to say, we're going to milk the hell out of that to our kids. We're going to be like, you don't understand. Like, you didn't go through.
Yeah.
Shit was wild.
You didn't go through the end of the world like we did when COVID hit.
You're pissed because Donkey Kong sold out? I had to stay in my room for 3 months.
I had to stay in my house for 2 years.
That's crazy. But yeah, no, the UFC, that did make it better because 1, you could hear all the hits. 2, you could hear them talking shit back and forth. And 3, you could hear the coaches actually, and they're hearing the things they actually yell at him. It's like, all right, this is wild.
And the fighters could hear the like Rogan and them. Like, imagine in a freaking fight to the death, and you just hear Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier just ripping you.
Well, dude,
just imagine.
It was awesome. I think it was
I never thought of that.
Yeah,
it was a Holloway fight. He started yelling at Cormier. And he's like fighting, and he's like, "Fuck you!" He's like, "I'm the best boxer."
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
I'm the best boxer in the UFC. And then he's like staring at Cormier, like dodging like Peace and Cater up, just yelling at him. Cormier's like, "Max is literally fighting with me right now in the middle of his fight because you could just hear everything." That's wild.
That is
interesting.
Yeah,
it is interesting.
Just
but
I'm sorry, I had to add on that. Like, I'm just like, what a weird dynamic. Like, you're so serious, like ready to just fight your ass off, and you're just listening to commentate. They're right next to you. Like, they're the only other people in the fucking place, and you're just hearing it. You're hearing your...
Yeah.
It's just hard for me to
That would be
process.
really weird, like competing in something.
The play-by-play while you're
the play-by-play
competing.
while you're doing it.
Yeah, like...
Because you got to assume when they're fighting in the big, loud crowds that they don't hear anything.
Yeah.
It's probably so loud.
Yeah.
No way.
It's so loud, like it's probably just like silent in their head. And then going from that to like hearing fat Chucky in the stands get up to
Mhm.
get his pop, like one out of the 3 guys that's loud and chomping his popcorn. It's probably very weird.
Yeah.
Very
Because
strange.
I was always on the side of like fans are always like, well, we like make a difference, and we're going to this arena, and I was like, it doesn't fucking matter really. But like, could you imagine being like in the NHL and going to a playoff, like
No.
a playoff game? How would you like pump yourself up? I mean, like I don't know. I feel like you would have to.
I
There's
agree.
literally no one in the building.
I 100% agree. And it's like they did with the NBA bubble too. It's like same thing. Like all of them, they were just playing to play. Like
Yeah.
there was nobody.
I just imagine like you watch like when whoever wins the Stanley Cup every year, they like all hop over the bench and fucking basically like storm their goalie or whatever, and they're all just like tackling each other, fucking going crazy cheering. I just imagine like the year in the bubble.
It's like just
It was like
echoes.
just basically winning like a beer league championship
Yeah.
because they all just flew off the bench and it's just
Yeah,
dead silent.
Is someone who's played a lot of hockey in front of absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
It'd be a very weird occurrence.
They're like looking around, pointing up in the stands.
Yeah,
Nobody's there.
there.
They're like, yeah. No, that is definitely going to be. I'm excited for what you said. Like sitting there, one of the old games, like
Yeah.
obviously basketball,
like
football,
like watching NFL Network or they'll
Just
play an old game.
throwing it on, and like people. Like I don't want to point. I don't want to be the one to point it out though. I want like a kid or something to be like, why is there nobody
Yeah,
there?"
exactly. They'd be like, "This sounds different."
You're just waiting.
Yeah, just it's like my lip.
Yeah, you're just
licking my
stewing like,
lips.
say something. Say
what happened in the Super Bowl that year? Was there fans there?
I believe there were.
Did they let fans back by the time the Super Bowl happened?
I'm trying to even remember. What
Was it
Super-
like half capacity?
Who played? Who even was
Was
it?
that the No, or was that the
Chiefs.
Definitely was the
Buccaneers and
Chiefs.
Yeah.
That was in Florida. There definitely were fans.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, because it was a big deal.
Yeah, was it Buccaneers and Chiefs?
It had because last year was
Yeah.
Rams.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they packed the fucking stadium.
They did because
Yeah.
it was Florida. It
Yeah,
was in
Florida
Florida.
didn't give a fuck.
Right, that's right.
And they didn't give a
They
fuck
didn't
in
fucking
Florida.
care, yeah.
They didn't give a fuck, dude. They still don't give a fuck.
It's kind of the move.
It kind of is the move. I mean,
I love how it now is. Like even like the government institutions are like, well, figure it out.
Yeah. Well, like I'll say it. I don't give a fuck. I don't think it's a secret. I'm gonna say it. Brett told us like,
Well, you didn't have to say
Oh,
the
wow.
name.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
yeah.
said like someone said.
someone said,
Well, you already said the
Well, you
name.
can bleep it out.
yeah, somebody. It's all right, whatever. Someone said that like even if you get COVID as a
yeah.
resident or a doctor, you still got to go to work.
Oh, I've known that. Yeah, that's happened with nurses for a while.
No one just like we just don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
nobody
anymore,
gives a fuck now.
which I don't hate it.
No, I was talking about it with somebody yesterday. Remember, it was like even if you potentially were around somebody that tested positive, you had to quarantine for 10 days.
It was weird.
And then like that means 10 days off work. Like now if you get COVID, your work's like, it's okay. So that means you probably got it or were exposed like 5 days ago. So it's already been 2 days. So you're
Go
probably
all
good to
back.
come back in
Yeah.
like 2 days.
Yeah, now we're to the point too where it's like, why'd you even take a test?
Yeah, right. That's what I mean.
It's a very do not ask, do not tell.
Yeah.
It is.
atmosphere now.
It's completely what it is now, dude. There's no more common cold or whatever. There's no difference anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all
Common
the same
cold,
thing.
flu, COVID, it's all the same thing.
And then like what's crazy is now that it's all over, it's finally coming out to where when they went up and said, and people can fact check, I mean, I've just read and heard this stuff, but when they went up and said that the FDA approved the vaccines, like there never was a true FDA approved vaccine. They literally just said that because they had to emergency activate the vaccine or whatever, and because there wasn't a fix or a medicine now, they were able to say like it was approved, and it's just like really
yeah, it
not
was like
FDA approved.
it was like a pandemic order or something like
yeah.
that. But yeah, when they first came out, they weren't FDA approved.
you
and
bring-
the one ended up never getting
Yeah, J&J,
the
they're like,
J&J.
You bring up a good point about the FDA. Who cares, right? I mean, there's a lot of shit that isn't FDA approved. Like you could go to like I just learned this from working at GNC. Like not everything is FDA approved at fucking GNC.
No, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
I
Like,
do, yeah.
Think about people that just like home make their stuff.
Yeah, it's like
none of that.
Who the fuck? I just want to look at the FDA and be like, well, who are you?
And then you got Aaron Rodgers dropping bombs on Rogan, just like pulling out all these stats. I guess like 51% of the FDA's funding is from pharmaceutical companies.
What? Fuck yeah, it is.
Which I mean, everybody knows that, but to hear that out loud, it's like, yeah, it's all just a game to get them to.
That's the whole weed thing too.
It is the weed.
Everything revolves around money, dude.
Bro. That's
fact.
I don't care what. Listen, I know I don't read shit, but like I don't care what any person of knowledgeable person sit here and tells me why weed is illegal. It is literally illegal for one reason, and because people will stop using pills and they'll smoke weed, and the pharmaceutical companies will lose money. That's a fact.
Whoa, dude. You're a logical guy. That's true.
I know we all agree, but I just had
on over here.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
tinfoil hat on.
What are you, a conspiracy theorist, dude?
Well, no, like because I was having this conversation today, like with one of my work people, and it's just it's true, and it's annoying. It's just
sick.
annoying.
Very
you know?
annoying.
It's sick and gross.
Stupid. Especially when you look at like certain states that have legalized it and like the benefits that they've reaped from it. So it's kind of frustrating when you come from a poor state,
with a huge pill problem.
With a huge pill problem, with a huge like infrastructure problem. You know what I mean?
It's just kind of weird how they get the entire country or world or however you want to look at it addicted to pills, and all they have to do is pay a fine, and the fine still doesn't even come close to how much money they've made that year. It's like, okay, you're gonna pay this $4.7 billion fine because we need this to fund this over in some other country, and then we're just going to pat you on the back and let you go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, it's cool.
It's like, you know what I was thinking, like how there's stuff, like you don't need FDA approval to sell things or whatever, like you're saying. It's the same thing. You ever see like products that still say like they're on the shelves and you could buy them or stuff, but it still says like, well, a patent's still pending.
Yes.
But I'm still allowed to sell it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, so does that mean like your design isn't technically proven to 100% work? Or like, what's that?
Are we just going for it? Like, maybe
like,
it'll work type deal?
Yeah, like it's pending. We'll get it.
We'll see if it works
soon.
You can buy it and try it.
You might grow a third arm, but you also might become healthy by taking it. So it's pending, Whatever happens, happens.
We'll see. We'll just
see
what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Well,
fuck the FDA.
On a good note, boys. On a good note, I was driving through some back roads this week and had my first experience where the leaves were falling on the boy.
Me too.
The sun was going through the leaves. It was a beautiful scene, and we are officially, I believe, as of yesterday, we are in fall now.
I had some country roads this week as well, and it was very nice and beautiful.
Yep.
Nice. We've said it for the past 3 or 4 weeks. Nice, differently shining sun. Fall shining sun is here.
I noticed it today.
Yep, on the leaves. It's very, very beautiful.
Could have been kicked off a better way. Because it's like in the 60s. More than flannel.
Yeah.
I can't remember this
Dude,
earlier.
it was fucking cold this morning. It was 44 degrees.
You know what will happen. It'll be like the end of October, and it'll be like 85.
Yeah, you're right. I hope not.
I was telling JT last night how funny it is how that stuff works. Like the last day of summer, it hit 85.
Yeah.
And then the first day of fall, it was like chilly.
Well, I'm happy you said that because what I noticed is the first day of fall, I woke up at my normal time and it was still dark outside.
Mm-hmm.
Which
we're hitting that point now. I hate it.
I can tell now it's getting dark earlier, and like
hibernation season's coming because it's harder to get up.
It's so
I can't stand when it gets harder to get up, dude. Like that. I'm just not a morning person as is, so like, yeah, it's tough to get out of bed when it's still dark. Hate that.
I agree. Like the mornings when I've spoken on this before, but like, why is it even when your house is the same temperature, do you feel that it's cold outside?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you wake up and it's dark and you're like, oh, I just know it's cold out right now, and you don't want to get out of your covers. Like it's just such a weird natural thing.
I say we've talked about this before on there, but the weirdest thing to me is how you set your thermostat. Like I'd say like the general temperature people stay around is 70.
Yeah.
Even when it's cold out.
Yeah.
So like 70 when you have the heat on and 70 when you have the cool air on. Why doesn't it feel the same?
It's so weird too, because it'll start getting so cold, and then like it'll become, we'll hit our first 55, 57, 60 day, and I'm putting shorts on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like it's cool how our bodies adapt, but it's funny you brought that up because I was just gonna say the same thing. It's like wild that I always fight to try to keep it like between 73 and 70 in the summer, and then dude, there's times where if I have the heat on that high, I'm like sweating.
Oh, you're roasting.
I'm
Yeah,
roasting
that's what I mean.
inside my house.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Dude, if
crazy.
you put your heat on up to like 73, you're a madman in my opinion.
Yeah. Dude,
Holy
I
shit.
remember at our old house, our parents' old house that we grew up in, my room had 3 outside walls. Do you get what I'm saying? Like 3
Yes.
walls were to the outside of that's just how the house was. So my room would get freezing in the wintertime. And are you still trying to understand?
I am, yeah.
So like
You had
I had my
3
room.
walls, like
No. So like here's my room.
He's
okay?
on the edge of the house.
Edge of the house. So 3, this wall, and this wall were the outside. Okay.
My brain was like,
No, you're good. But because I could tell you were
Yeah,
staring
I was
hard, like,
like-
what is he
I
talking
thought you
about?
meant like here's your bedroom and you had a wall and then there was a wall behind it and then another
No.
wall to the outside and I was like, man, that's
That's a
interesting.
thick wall. No, but like, so my room would get freezing. And we had this little space heater, but it was like the strongest space heater of all time. And I just remember I would shut my bedroom door and blast this space heater all night long. And my room would just be so toasty when I'd wake up, which normally I don't think I would like, but it's just because it was toasty and I knew like it was freezing outside and my room gets freezing. It was like impossible to get out of bed. Oh man, like when I'd come home from college in the wintertime and do that, and wake up like on a Saturday morning in my bed like I grew up in. Oh, dude, it was the best.
What's interesting about that room though is like, yeah, you're on the corner and yeah, you have 3 walls, but where that room gets cold is underneath is only the garage, not like a part of the actual
you're right.
house.
That's right.
So heat's not getting to the garage
You're right.
like it would the basement. So
Yeah.
that room would get
So
fucking
cold.
freezing.
The
dude.
hardwood would be like fucking. It'd feel like you'd walking on ice.
Which,
so
like,
cold.
Last night I fell asleep with the windows open because I saw the temperature. I'm like, it's not gonna get that cold. Dude, I woke up at like 3 or 4 with my fan blasted. I was like, oh fuck. Like
Yeah.
it's cold now,
Freezing.
man. It was awesome.
That is the best.
But yeah, I'm very, very excited for the fall change. I'm very excited that it's flannel season.
Facts.
I'm gonna end up swapping short sleeve for long sleeve. I'm excited because it's personality season, and this is the season where you can spare a couple pounds because you always got hoodies and shit on.
Love that it's
Yeah,
back.
yeah. I'm excited to like. I feel like we kind of fucking slacked a little bit this summer, like hanging out outside because the heat just sucks. So now where it's cooled down, I feel like we can chill outside and
Agreed.
like light a fire back behind your
Yeah.
house.
Dude, we didn't have-
fires are back. That sounds
Dude,
great.
we didn't even play.
didn't-
Did we even play beer die this summer?
We
no,
didn't-
dude, because
that
like
was a fast summer.
you would walk outside though, and you would instantly start sweating.
Yeah,
Like you
it
wouldn't
wasn't
even,
fun.
you wouldn't even have to do anything. You would just walk outside. The sun would hit you,
Yeah,
and you would sweat. And I was talking to my dad about this week. I'm happy it's finally getting cool because I feel bad that I wasted out back, but it's like I never wanted to be out there. It was
Yeah.
miserable.
Now
Yeah.
that I'm thinking about it, the last thing we actually really did out there was Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. Which fuck.
Damn.
I was
That's
beginning of
6
May.
months
Yeah,
ago.
so that was like it was still kind of
5
cool at
months
that
ago.
point.
Man, that was a gross.
We
day,
played
too.
die that game, or we played die that day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was the last time we did.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm happy we get some fire. It's bonfire season,
Mhm.
dude. It's
Mhm.
bonfire season.
I love a nice bonfire. You know, it's also beard season.
It is beard
Like
season.
it's it's lumberjack season is what it is. It's jeans, boots, flannel, beard season.
Yeah.
Light a fire outside. Oh man, it's the best time of
Vests.
year. Don't get me started on a vest, bro. I
Yeah.
love my Carhartt vest. Oh man, it's Yellowstone season coming up. House of the Dragon midway season. Fuck. Best time of the year right now, boys.
Which that episode, bro.
I'm all in, dude. I'm like obsessed with the show.
Me too.
I'm like all the way
Wait,
back.
no, it's fair. Before you start, I want to say something I said to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it not fair to say that House of the Dragon season 1 is better than Game of Thrones season 1? I'm saying it.
I will wait till the end of the season to say that, but
It's wild. They're getting 29.3 million viewers an episode,
yeah,
which is insane.
in the
it's
membrane.
really good. But it's something I brought up a few weeks ago on the pod. House of the Dragon does have the benefit of like you went through all those years of Game of Thrones and it got to establish itself as a powerhouse.
True.
So
For
now
sure.
House of the
Good
Dragon
point.
gets to like start off with
That's
big, but you know what I
yes.
mean? Season 1 of Game of Thrones didn't have that budget.
That's
sure.
a good point.
Do
Very
you think
good
they
point.
took notes too, like with all the fans like
Aw.
bitching?
I most definitely think so.
I'm very nervous though.
I'm nervous.
I'm
too.
nervous. I told you this. I'm nervous. I'm not going to buy into the older version of Rhaenyra. You know? I don't know. I love the young version. She did such a good job.
She did. Yeah.
I'm just a little nervous about that. But I'm excited for the time jump. Like, I'm excited to see, like, Aegon, that little dude. Just in that sneak peek preview, you can tell that kid is going to be a fucking
Douche.
bitch. Yes. I already know I'm going to hate him.
I saw Olivia Cook, a quote who plays the old
Allison.
Allison, say that all her kids are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So that's all I needed to hear. I'm
Yeah,
like, all right.
I'm very, very, very excited. And again, I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. And I don't even know the full story. I just know a lot of like where things are going. Like there's going to be some fucking amazing like action, like some very cool
dragons.
fucking shit.
I'm
dude.
excited.
Very cool stuff.
do we know how many years the jump is?
It's got to be like,
I think it's
10.
pretty sure it's a decade.
Is it a
yeah.
decade?
See, I thought it was 5 at first,
it's got to be 10
I
because look at the kids.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
and it has to. Yeah, it has to be more.
It might even be more than 10 because I think the last episode, Aegon was like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So the time skip, I think he's like 14, 15, something like that. He's definitely not 10.
Yeah.
He's a teenager.
Yeah.
Fucking Viserys looking rough.
Bro, he looks rough.
Oh man.
He's continually rough the entire season.
Dude,
Oh.
my favorite, it's so accurate too. My favorite meme I've seen about the show and his character is the Ben Affleck.
yeah,
Yeah,
is it-
yeah.
And it's like Viserys after every episode, and it just has a blonde, like, Photoshop wig over Ben Affleck smoking a cig, and I'm like, that is, like,
That's
spot
funny.
on. Because it's so true.
Yeah.
He's always just, like, fed up with everybody.
Yeah.
He's always sick. He's
Yeah.
lost fingers.
I have to
getting cut.
say, like, I'm really blown away with all the actors so
Same.
far,
Yeah.
dude.
Same.
Patty just killing that role as Viserys.
Dude, I think he's the best
Yeah,
actor.
I
in it.
mean,
honestly, I
they're
do.
all.
He's
He's
crushing.
phenomenal.
He's crushing the role.
I hope he wins an Emmy. Honestly,
Yeah, he's doing really.
because he's getting the probably I can't say this for sure, but he's getting the Ned Stark treatment. Like he's not going to be around past season 1.
Yeah.
Like we know he's dying.
Yeah, I'm looking forward too to seeing the older actors and actresses for the Valyria kids.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Because like I didn't see Damon and the young Valyria chick. Like I didn't see that hookup coming at all. And
Me
they
neither.
have kids in the fucking preview. So
Yeah, and like we were talking about yesterday, Rhaenyra has freaking bastard kids.
Yeah, they're all bastards.
with the fucking knight. I'm guessing.
shit's
Fold.
gonna be lit.
Fold.
I don't know.
Maybe the night, maybe not.
Maybe that other knight. You know who I'm talking about. I forget his name.
I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
excited,
don't.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not. I just said I'm not. I
the
won't.
one night I said, Jake, he's the Rip Wheeler of
Oh,
of
100%.
fucking Westeros.
100%.
100%.
It's just gonna be really cool to see because like they slowly have started introducing more characters that have honestly like not had like major parts in any of the episodes yet, but as we move on, they are going to become like bigger players because everything splits into two factions here. And again, it's just gonna be really cool.
Oh, another thing I was talking to Jake about. I hope or I wonder. Remember the little kid, that little kid that came in and was trying to like.
Yeah, the Blackwood kid.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll have anything. I feel like that little scene of him was too good for him to just be done.
Right.
Like an older version.
Yeah,
of
I
him
don't
come
know.
along
I
or
don't know if he's
something.
got a part in the story or not. Honestly, like in the future, but I guess I didn't know this. The guy he killed. So like, it's well known in the books. His family name, the Blackwood, and I forget the other guy. The guy he kills, his family name. It's like a well-known thing that those two families have feuded for like hundreds of years. They're almost like the Hatfields and McCoys
Oh, that's sick.
of that world.
Oh shit!
So it's
okay.
kind of like an Easter egg, that they
really,
threw
I
it in
like
there.
that.
So yeah, that was really cool. But I'm really excited for Sunday because like I just had myself a great little Sunday planned. I'm gonna watch some football, do a little housework, and then before the new episode of House of the Dragon, I'm gonna watch all 3 of the new episodes of Andor.
Shit, I got to do that still too.
And then feed right into House of the Dragon. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to watch Andor.
Jake, what do you have to say about Andor? You got a little something.
Yeah,
Have you watched it already?
I tried.
Oh, don't spoil anything.
No, I won't. I had turned it off. I couldn't
Really?
get into it.
Wow.
I was like 8 to 9 minutes in too. Now, I mean, it could have just been I was in a hotel, like not the most comfortable environment.
Right.
But I tried to watch it, yeah, and I like got to a point, and I'm like, this just isn't keeping my attention at all. But I'm sure I'll end up loving it. But I was shocked. It didn't grab me.
Well, I binged a show completely this week. Not that hard. 8 episodes. They're like 25 minutes. It's on Netflix. I was telling you, it's on Netflix. It's called Mo. So I didn't realize this dude's an comedian.
Yeah, Mo Amer.
Mo Amer, yeah. But I'm pretty sure the show is loosely based off of his actual life. Like they were refugees from Palestine, and they got here to America, and they lived in Texas. So this dude grew up. He spoke Arabic, but he also had to learn Spanish and English. And then it's just kind of about his life in Houston, trying to get. I'm pretty sure it was confusing. He's not he's not even a citizen, so he's trying to get like his citizenship or whatever, and it's just like his life, and he gets like addicted to lean and shit, dude. But it's good, but it's funny, but it's also serious. It gives you like a Dave vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like Dave, reminded me of Dave, that kind of vibe. Really good show.
Well, I was just shocked early on because it's the first show that I can ever think of where like it really shows the effects of how it is having a green card in this country and the jobs you can get and the jobs you can't.
Right.
Like right off the rip.
See, I didn't know there was like restrictions. Well, so you have to like apply to a certain like field, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, there's certain jobs that you can only have if you're like a U.S. citizen.
Oh,
So
see,
like when
that's
you're
wild.
when you don't have the card, it's like you're just kind of treated like a wild animal out there just trying to figure
Dude,
it out.
it's wild though because it was showing him like he was trying to make money and get jobs, but everyone would ask him like if he had papers or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, no, and said he wouldn't get hired. So he would flip fake watches and shoes out of the back of his car. And it was it's really good fun. It's really good. What's the weird word? I don't want to say coming of age, but
Feel good.
yeah, it's like just,
The come up.
the come up. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a come up. So it's cool. And it ended with a huge cliffhanger. So I'm hoping they come out to season 2 because it's a really good show.
Yeah, I'm
I think Teddy keeps farting over here.
Is he?
Bummer.
Yeah, he farts a lot.
Damn. Shout out Ted.
I mean,
dude.
he's being a trooper,
I
though,
can't
is he
believe
not?
how he's just chilling.
Dude, this is what he does. So one night I was sitting at home FaceTiming Chance and Michael, just drinking beers because they live far away now. And he sat on my lap like this for 2.5 hours. Just did not move. Just sat and just chilled.
That's awesome.
I had my iPad set up and we were just sitting like this. just chilling.
It's just funny when you send me pictures of him and Hazel. They're just like homies.
They are. But that is true. But it's also, it's like they decide, okay, right now is when we're gonna start terrorizing JT or our dad. Like he'll do a little bark, and then Hazel will start running around, and like they just start like tag teaming me. I'm like, fucking settle down.
It's like they have an
Yeah.
orchestrated attack.
Literally, yeah. Like, yes, it's like hyenas like swarming a freaking zebra or something. It's crazy.
I am. I know it was said, but I'm very impressed that he's just literally sitting there. It is awesome.
He's a good dog. I mean, he gets in his barking modes sometimes, but he's good.
Which I know. I know you guys are done with House of the Dragon. I just want to say that episode 5 for me was like a top. I
Yeah.
think just Game of Thrones episode for me.
See,
It was
general.
very good.
I've learned. I agree with you. I've learned. I do love battle scenes and fight and action, but I also love scenes. I guess you could call them drama scenes or fucking episodes. Like one of my favorite episodes in newer Game of Thrones, like season 8, was the one night where they were all preparing for before the long night, and
Yeah.
they were all just telling stories around the fire, drinking. And I was
Yeah.
like, I love this episode. It was kind of like that kind of vibe, like not a lot of action or anything, but it was just kind of like drama. So I agree. I really
Yeah,
like that
like,
episode too.
certain episodes that are like just basically the whole episode's like dialogue based.
Yeah,
Are really one that comes to mind from the original series is, I believe that would be it's like it's right at the end of season 4, episode like 9 or 8 or something, where basically the whole episode is Tyrion on trial.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
See,
Dude,
another one.
That's
Like,
a fucking
that
awesome
that
episode.
is a freaking like staple of Game of Thrones. It's Tyrion's trial,
right, and when he
Yeah.
finally like has his chance to speak,
Oh yeah,
and he just like fucking goes off
Yeah,
on
dude.
everyone.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. That's top tier.
Yes, agree.
Which I'm blanking. Tyrion didn't die at the end of Game of Thrones.
Hell,
so-
he's the
Uh-uh.
hand of the
Uh-uh.
king.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, like, could you imagine if we get to see Tyrion again in the Snow Show?
I would love it.
Yeah, we probably would. It's gonna be weird because like they said
Oh.
that scripts are already being written, and George R. R. Martin said like it's really good stuff. But like so much of what they can do is going to be based on if some of those actors want to return.
I think Peter Dinklage would.
I could see him being one of the ones that wants to just leave the role behind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Some of them are said like they'd be eager to come back,
Yeah.
like the girl that plays Brienne.
Brienne of Tarth.
But like, I don't know.
I'm not a lady.
I could see Peter Dinklage.
So what is the
You know.
entire premise of that show? Is
There-
it just like
we
the
don't-
North? And
we don't
We
know.
don't know.
Uh-uh.
It's dude. So mentally in my head, I'll tell you what the premise is. Mentally in my brain, it's Jon Snow after he went through a year of drinking a bottle of whiskey every night, being like, "How am I not the
Yeah,
king?
he's-
And how am I not this guy?" And it's this Jon Snow we're gonna see is gonna be like a fucking the Hound,
Bro, I would love that.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
Yeah, I'm hoping for
I'd be a
the
big fan.
the Jon Snow revenge tour.
Yes.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I would be a
Sick.
bit like just a pissed off Jon Snow. Like, hold up, I should be the fucking king.
Would you guys be upset? Would you like this idea? I see this idea getting thrown around a lot on the internet about this show. Would you like this idea or dislike it? People are saying like, what if? Because obviously Jon Snow went north of the Wall. He's basically like the king of the wildlings.
Yeah, he's yep. hmm
They're saying like, what if the White Walker threat actually wasn't? Like, what if the Night King wasn't the actual big bad?
No,
And there's still
I don't
White
like it.
Walker civilization out there.
I don't like that.
Right?
I
I
don't
don't know
like
if I would
that.
like it either.
I don't like that at all.
Like retconning that.
No,
Yeah, I
that,
I think I like the theory because the last one was so disappointing, but I feel like you can't do that.
Yeah, right.
You just
That's
can't
what I
be
mean.
like, oh no, we missed.
oh, just
the last
kidding.
time.
There's
I-
a whole other
yeah.
Night King.
I wish the Night King thing didn't get resolved the way it did because Jon Snow, like he was supposed to be Azor Ahai or
Yeah.
whatever, and like that
Yeah.
didn't mean anything. So yeah, it would be cool to see him like north, like actually getting to fulfill the prophecy or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That
I
would
agree
be
with
cool, yeah.
Bubba. It's tough to retcons are tough. Like when you
Yes.
have something happen, then it's a clear like walk back from it. Because,
Like
you know what I
Star
mean?
Killer base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because with our, it's not here yet, but whose favorite is favorite? I did just one worst villain, and that was the Night King. Guy dropped the bag like nobody else.
Yeah.
He stunk.
What about Voldemort?
Yeah,
That dude couldn't even
Well,
take over a high school.
yeah. That's a good
Fucking
point.
loser. Fucking loser ass Voldemort, dude. What the fuck?
He's actually like such a shitty
Dude,
villain when you
yeah,
think
what?
about
Yeah, the
it.
whole Night King. It was
It's
so
frustrating.
anticlimactic, dude.
Because
Him-
the
him and-
entire show's about him. It's literally about him.
How many times? I think it was just in the one episode. How many times in the long night are him and Jon Snow gonna stare at each other
That's what I mean, dude.
and
don't
then
even,
them not fight?
don't even get
Like-
me started that we never got to see any one-on-one sword fighting with the Night King versus anybody.
That is crazy how they do have just a scene where him and Jon
They just
Snow
stare at each
just-
other.
just
He
stare.
just didn't do anything.
and yeah, to end up Arya just coming and fucking dicing and
And I think I told you guys this, that one of the most
Spoilers.
frustrating things about it too is a lot of people don't realize this. The guy that they have hired to play the Night King is like one of the most renowned sword
Yeah.
stuntsmen
Yeah, I
in the
remember
world.
you did that.
He's like a master sword fighter, and they didn't give him any sword fighting scenes.
I just don't know. I don't know what they could do to be able to run it back to make it all make sense. But now that we're sitting here talking about it, it's like, yes, I would love to see Jon Snow fight the Night King, but also it's like,
No,
Yeah,
I
but
want
it-
there to be like some civilization of giants or something.
But it'd be like, oh, the Night
Be
King
cool.
like got with like a regular woman, and had his
Whoa.
stepson or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
just big. It'd be stupid.
That'd be
Yeah.
stupid. The only thing I could think of is like, remember that episode where they first ever showed the Night King? It was that episode where the White Walker came and took Craster's baby
Yeah,
and took it back. And that's the first time you ever see the Night King. He turns the baby to a White Walker.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the background, you see 13 silhouettes. That's the only thing I could think of, is that like maybe the Night King wasn't. Maybe there was a
clan.
like a council almost, like it was like an actual civilization. It wasn't just this guy that controlled everything.
yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
thing I could think of.
and then they spin it, and Damon's the Night King, dude.
I like him.
Isn't it crazy how like so many Targaryens ended up being like other things? Like Maester Aemon was a Targaryen.
Yeah.
Original, the three-eyed raven that trained Bran
Bran.
was a Targaryen.
Bro.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Brynden
Wait, what?
Rivers. Brynden Rivers. Yeah, he was a Targaryen bastard.
I didn't know. Did they say that in the show?
I don't know if they say that in
I was
the
gonna say,
show
'cause
or not.
It's the first I've heard of
Yeah.
it.
I don't know
Dude,
if they
and
do.
you
or
know
not.
what's absolutely crazy though, and you guys all know this, but it just excites me because I just love the show. We literally got told in season 1 that Jon Snow is a fucking Targaryen when he throws that fucking torch at the White Walker and doesn't burn his hand.
Yeah.
He grabs it by the fucking flame and throws it at the. Remember what I'm talking about?
know exactly
The first
what
Are
time
you
he
sure
fought
he
one of those
doesn't get?
whites.
Are you sure he doesn't get burned
I'm
there?
positive. Nothing. He just grabbed it and threw it, and then that was it.
Damn.
Right? I just
If it-
rewatched
yeah, yeah. If you're,
Dude,
I can't remember.
I'm
I,
saying
for what
it,
I
so
thought, I
it's right.
remembered him getting.
it.
But yeah, that's true.
No, but yeah, Jon Snow, goat.
For sure.
Well, do we want to do the thing?
Yeah, I feel bad. I reached out to G. I forgot to get the video on my iPad.
That's all right. I made a clip.
But were we even able to get a vote on who's?
No, we don't have a winner yet, but we'll have a winner.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
I just got to make the clip like 5 minutes before I got here.
Cool.
But yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shout out to whoever wins. You guys will find
Shout
out
out.
Sunday. I'll put the poll on
Soup, right?
today, and then yeah,
Soup. Swoop
then-
doop.
we'll do it for 2 days. So Sunday we'll see the winner of who has the favorite soup.
Cool.
Yeah. So this week, I like this question a lot. Actually, I think it's exciting. Hopefully, no one picks my answer, but you guys know the drill. Put a poll on Twitter. Vote whose favorite's the favorite. Jake, Who is your favorite villain of all time? And when I say villain to those listeners, it could be any kind of villain. TV show, movie, even a game, real life. Okay, go on.
Yeah, one of the I know this is a very, very odd answer, but I kind of wanted to do a villain in real life, and the person I thought of was Vontez Burfict. He was one of the biggest villains ever in the NFL because of how dirty he played and how literally everybody in the entire league hated this man. And he owned it and made it his and was at one time a very good player. That was one of the dirtiest players the NFL has ever seen. So I tried to keep it something that I like, football mixed in like with real life scenario. I was gonna go movie, but I didn't do it. So yeah, the one I came up with was Vontez Burfict. Is one of the biggest villains in history.
That's nice. I went movie. I went with the one I just think is the best with Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh yeah, great.
That's a good one.
That's great.
That's
answer.
the winner.
That's the winner right there.
I'm gonna say probably it's the winner.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck you.
I tried. I don't know. I tried to think hard about this one, like, because do you really like who's my favorite villain? Like, do I actually like the villain? You know what I mean?
See,
You're
that-
not supposed to like the villain. So I tried to get like lighthearted with it. I was like, who are some like good like Disney villains or
Yeah.
like cartoon villains that are like quirky and funny but playing the villain? You know what I mean? I went with Team Rocket from Pokemon.
Oh,
okay.
dude, that's a great
It's
answer.
a great
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, and I know that's not one person, but Jesse and
Yeah, that
James
counts.
always
Yeah,
showing
Team
up,
Rocket.
you know, in
Yeah.
in their Meowth.
It's a good answer.
So Team Rocket is my answer.
I had a couple. I had a real life one. I had animated one. I have a movie one. But realistically, like I have to stay true to myself. I don't normally like villains, okay? Like I never was like, oh, I like the villain type guy. But growing up, this was my favorite character of all time, and that's fucking Darth Vader.
It's a good
Yeah.
villain.
I mean,
I knew
it's-
that was gonna be yours.
Yeah, it's gotta be. Like I was gonna say Conor McGregor was an answer.
It's a good villain.
But and then I was gonna say Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. But like realistically, it's Darth Vader. I mean, it is what it is.
So
Yeah.
I picked two more that I could have said, and one was Pennywise from It, because I think he's like the best book villain ever. And then I had Shooter McGavin from
Oh,
that's a
dude,
great
one.
villain.
Yeah.
that's a
Happy Gilmore
That's a good one.
dude. That's oh man,
with the double pistols.
that's a fucking great answer, dude.
Jake, I thought you would have said like maybe like Loki.
Well, dude, so when I was thinking Loki, Thanos is fire. Like
I thought you were gonna say
Joffrey.
or
I
Ramsey.
thought Joffrey
Ramsey.
too, dude. Just because of how good Joffrey's actor was,
Dude.
he nailed the role.
He did.
Who would you say is better, a villain, Joffrey
Oh,
or
dude.
Ramsey?
So this is how this is how I always explained it. So I have to stand by it. Anybody that hasn't watched Game of Thrones, I always say like you thought Joffrey was bad, but just wait until you meet Ramsey.
Yeah.
Like
I-
Joffrey
yeah, I
was so
agree.
good, but then Ramsey is so like a little better in like a different kind of category.
I feel like he was so much more brutal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I always felt like I hated Joffrey more.
Yeah.
But
don't
by way
disagree.
of I couldn't wait till he died.
Yeah.
I couldn't
I
wait
agree.
because you knew he was going to die somehow.
Ramsey was way more twisted in the things that he
Yeah.
did. Like I just got introduced to Ramsey again in my rewatch, and like you think like Theon like thinks he's getting helped by Ramsey, and then Ramsey
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
fucks him,
yeah.
and I'm like, dang, dude.
I mean, do you have to know how mentally manipulative you are to be able to convince somebody they are not their self and just to get them to
For
play
real.
their self?
Yeah, but like think of like Theon was captured, and then Ramsey comes along and lets him go.
Yeah.
And says your sister's waiting for you, to only catch him at where he sends him and locks him back up.
Yeah.
Imagine how much that would mess you up. You think you're free, and you're like, "Oh shit, I'm getting away," and then the dude that helps you locks you back up. dude, that's
Damn,
so
yeah.
fucked up.
And he killed his own men to like sell it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's like acting like he was saving Theon. He killed his own men.
dude.
He was just psychotic.
Psychotic. But yeah, no, I mean, my brain obviously instantly went to Marvel. Like, Loki's a good one, but yeah, I was trying to think of real life villains, and I kind of had a hard time thinking of
Well, another
people-
one I thought you really would have said is Jake Paul.
Jake Paul's a
yeah.
good answer.
I mean, he's a villain.
Yeah.
Let's be real. He's a villain.
Yeah, like, and I mean, are there any, like, other than sports, are there any people that we can remember that everybody just disliked?
Kim Jong Un.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
yeah, Kim Jong Un,
Bin Laden.
Bin Laden.
But that gets a little too serious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
because
'cause
you
they
don't like them.
Committed
though.
actual atrocities.
yeah, like,
I'm sitting here thinking like there are villains that you kind of like.
yeah, who
You
do
know,
or
what I
like
mean?
anti-heroes. Like I like what's his face's character. He's not necessarily a villain, but like he's definitely like a shitty guy in the town.
Yeah.
His friend.
Jeremy
Jeremy
Renner.
Renner.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner's character. Like I
Well,
wouldn't call
yeah.
him a villain,
Could you
but
say-
he's
Yeah.
is technically. They
Yeah.
all are technically the
Could
villain.
you
in that.
call? You technically could call like Tommy Shelby a villain because he's like a criminal.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if you watch
It's true.
if you watch like The Sopranos or any gangster
Yeah.
show, you're pretty much
Yeah.
rooting for the villains the whole
Yeah,
time. They
true.
are
Yeah,
the bad
those are fair
people.
answers. Yeah.
It is true.
So those would all be fair answers. Like Tony Soprano would be a great answer.
Remember, everybody hated Britney Spears for a long time because
Yeah.
she was crazy. Like, yeah, and I had a hard time, mental block, but I know there's a bunch out there.
It's all right.
I don't care.
Vontez Burfict.
Montez Perfect's the winner, dude.
I hated Von.
Yeah, like everybody hated
Dude,
him.
I couldn't stand.
I mean, there's
him.
been several flyers. I absolutely hated their guts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah, that's true. I should have thought like. But see, like I don't
Scott
like.
Hartnell.
It's like who's your favorite villain? It's a tough question.
Right.
Like there's tons of villains I actually hate, but I wanted one that like
that you like.
yeah.
Yes.
And
that-
Darth
that's
Vader's
kinda
a
how
great
I meant-
answer
yeah,
because,
that's
like-
how I meant the question.
Right.
Because people like an answer, you could say Jordan Belfort. To
Yeah.
some
like
people,
he's a villain. Yeah.
he's a big stock villain.
Right.
I just wish you guys liked Avatar: The Last Airbender because Zuko is like reverse Anakin. Like he started bad. Okay, he's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Kylo Ren. Like he
Right.
was
Yeah.
bad,
That he-
but then he became good.
Kylo was high up on my list of possibilities to say.
Ben Solo. But yeah, I don't know. Not much happened this week. I don't really have very many quick hits. If you
We
guys,
got Irish Road Bowling tomorrow.
that's right.
Very
The
excited.
last minute Greg's team. We faced a lot of adversity this week trying to figure it out, but
As always,
Yeah,
of any group trying to do any activity.
yeah, but
Such a headache.
this is where the championship DVD starts, Bubba. So I'm excited. It's always a fun time. You know, like tomorrow's not supposed to be blazing hot like it has been the last couple years at it. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be like pretty sure like high 69 or something.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited for that.
Sorry. I was just gonna say there's still a chance I might walk with you guys, but I don't know.
I think you should.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even want to like genuinely. I don't even care to throw.
I don't either. I threw one time last year.
Like I'll nominate myself to keep score and just walk with beer and just that's what I like.
I
to
might
do.
end up doing that.
Can we stay longer this year?
Yeah. Well,
Why did we
the
literally
vi-
got back and left?
Dude, last year it started raining.
the vibe?
Oh, is that
You
why?
know, yeah.
Yeah.
the
and-
vibes were a little off last year.
But now Bridges
Dude,
Cross is
b-
back.
By the end of the day last year, it started raining because
Is
I
that
remember
what it was?
I remember leaving and then everyone went to the hole because WVU and Oklahoma
that
were
is
playing.
true.
Yeah.
That is what happened.
And then I went to the hole and just was miserable watching that game.
Oh,
Like
that
I was
fun,
so
though.
focused in on the game because it was a close
Yeah,
game.
it was
Should've
fun though. The
and
whole was
so many people kept coming up to me and be like, hey, how are you? And I'd be like, I'm good. I'm like really good. Trying to
but
watch the game.
the hole was pretty electric for the game.
It
Like
was.
it got
I'm sure.
It
It
was,
was
fun.
crowded.
Yeah.
It was packed.
So yeah, no, that should be fun. There's an Oktoberfest, I believe, downtown tomorrow as well.
Really?
What I've heard.
United Way. thing from like 3 to 10, I
Where?
believe.
Oh,
On where the old subway used to be.
Oh,
that
on the plaza.
yeah, that
oh,
yeah,
that'd
right
be
there.
maybe
cool.
make a whole day tomorrow.
Yeah,
The
But-
Barnesville Pumpkin Fest is going on this weekend too.
Pumpkin
It's a big deal in the
Fest.
valley.
Well, I gotta say something, and Bubba will agree with me. The food truck festival was electric.
Nice time up there. Had a great time.
I
Really?
didn't know what to expect. I was like, me and Angie like to go to things and wheeling. I was like, oh, this is going on. Let's go check it out. Okay, so it was up the Levinson, and so the shelter was like the beer area where you got your, and then there was just a literal perimeter of food trucks in the field with the stage on the end,
Hell yeah.
and it was just fucking the vibes
They
were
were playing
just all
tunes.
there. We were
Yeah,
playing
they were getting
tunes, just
down.
jamming.
I'd love to hear that though.
We were in the very front, just dancing and shit.
Hell
Then there were
yeah.
fireworks at the end. It was fun.
I
Very
wanted
fun.
to go
Recommend.
to that. I really did. But I
I
went
was
to
very-
Morgantown.
I was very hungover on Sunday.
My body gave out on me that night. I couldn't do it because I drank the night before or a little and stayed up late. Didn't get much sleep. Went to Morgantown at like 6 a.m. Then came and went straight up to Ogilvy. My body was like,
Yeah?
you can't do this
Yeah.
anymore.
And
Yeah.
it was a hot day in Morgantown that day too.
Yeah, it
I
was.
had like major heat. I got fucking shit canned and then had major heat exhaust. Like it was like it was one of those weird times where my body felt like it was moving in slow motion. I couldn't do anything like fast.
Yeah, like you were dreaming.
Yeah,
You were
pretty
trying to
much,
run
I
in your
swear.
dream.
Yeah. Okay, that
Here you go.
Yeah. So you know how I had a breakthrough in a dream this past week.
What happened?
You know how like in most dreams, like if you end up getting into a fight or like a gunfight or something, you can never
Yeah.
like
You're
actually
slow.
connect the punch or
Mhm.
like fire the gun or whatever. I had a dream where I had a breakthrough. I fucking fucked somebody
You
up.
took someone out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like woke up kind of like in distress a little bit from it. I was like, that was real. That shit got real.
See, like my instant thought would have been like, I'm a superhero. Like something's gonna happen to me. I'm a special individual.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to get into it too much, but like it was graphic. It doesn't involve a gun, so I didn't shoot
So
anybody.
you stabbed somebody.
Yeah, I did.
Oh fuck.
I did.
Fuck, dude.
It was
Were you an undone?
an intruder broke into my house and ended up in a brawl with me stabbing them.
Fuck.
And it was
man.
fucking like I said, I woke up like in distress. So I probably shouldn't even say I made a breakthrough. It probably wasn't a breakthrough. It's probably a little bit of a regression mentally.
So
But
I'll
yeah.
tell you a little about my dream last night.
was it no, go ahead. Never mind.
We were I'm thinking like the way that my brain, like you know how dreams are. Like
Yeah, I've had
it's-
one or two.
It's something, but it's something else. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? though.
Yeah.
We were in a wiffle ball tournament, but I think it was Irish road bowling, but we were playing wiffle ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And our bases were loaded. And it was my turn to bat. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I'm going to hit a grand slam. You know what happened? It'd be your own. Be your own teammates. Matthew Pleva said, no, I want to hit the grand slam, and hit me in the back of the legs with a big barrel baseball bat.
Damn.
And I said, fuck you, dude. We're done. We're no longer friends.
Whoa, man.
You don't just hit your friend with a baseball bat.
Agreed.
See, those are bad vibes.
Yeah. those
Vibe.
are
Coming-
Yeah, I was
bad
like,
vibes.
what
Going
the
for
fuck?
tomorrow.
I was like, what the fuck, dude?
I might not come now, dude.
You need to
Dang,
get your
what it-
mind right before tomorrow.
What if he hits me? What if he bowls and it hits me in the ankles?
Yeah, see?
You guys better
Some
fucking figure
foreshadowing.
it out.
We better figure it out. So,
You hate anything this week before we wrap her up?
hey, no, we're changing the, aren't we?
Oh, are we loving things now?
You know, we'll do it.
I didn't prepare for well, so I could say it's hard to hate things for me this week because it's
All right.
Friday and road bowling's tomorrow, and I have a 3-day work week next week, and then I'm immediately going to Alabama for
Oh,
Talladega.
That's
Damn,
electric.
that's soon. I forgot. Nice.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. Like it was like 2 months away when we first like decided to go, and now it's this or coming week, and I'm so excited.
You
So
should
it's
be.
Yeah, it's hard to hate anything.
Honestly, I love that attitude.
Yeah.
But I hate the Kardashians. I don't know if
Okay.
I said that yet. but fuck
I
them.
hate when
Fuck all of
people.
them. I hate
And
them.
we're back.
Thank you.
I hate when people. I
Yep.
know it's just where you live. I hate when people call Florida,
Yeah.
and like if they say like the word like horrible, it's like horrible. Like, shut up, dude. Figure it out.
You want to know one that's getting on my nerves lately? We used to just call it Hawaii. That's what everyone used to say. Now everybody goes Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the same thing with like
Louisville.
in like New Orleans. Like,
New Orleans.
Nolans.
just say what it
Yeah,
is.
just talk.
Dude, I have a theory. I really do. Not everybody. I have a theory though that there are some people that like freaking way overdo their accents like purposefully.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I think Pat McAfee might be one of those people.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could
You know
be.
what
He
I'm
puts
saying?
that Pittsburgh accent on heavy.
Some people
Love
like
the guy though.
No, I love him. I'm not a hater. I think it'd be cool to have a real Southern accent. Some people say we have Southern accents,
I'm going to get one.
but like I'm just like, all right, slow down. Just pronounce words.
Slow your roll.
I'm not the most articulate guy, so I can't really judge anybody. But yeah, I thought that. Like sometimes I hear a Louisiana accent and I'm like, do you really talk like that? Or are you doing it on purpose type deal? You know what
Call
I'm
him
saying?
out next time.
Because you have like Theo Vaughn, he talks like a normal person.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of an accent,
Yeah.
but he's not like, I can't even do it. Like,
Yeah, I
Right.
hear you.
it's like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But sorry,
Uh,
I'm being a hater. I love something I love this week. I love wearing sweatshirts and sweatpants like I do
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Like I have them on right now.
I guess something I love this week is the tire pressure light coming on. That's when you know it's getting cold at night and fall's here. So the tire pressure light come on this morning for
Yep,
me.
so did mine.
Yeah.
I hate that, honestly.
But it lets me know that
Yeah, let's
go
you know
time.
things. Yeah.
things are
So
changing.
am I supposed to say?
Just say
something
whatever.
I love.
say whatever you want.
Hate and love.
Yeah, you hate something, you love something.
I would like to. I continue to hate traffic and wheeling.
Yep,
It's just a
stinks.
goddamn chore.
It's terrible.
Stinks.
I love my wife
That's a great
Love.
one.
and WVU football. I love you.
back.
I love you
Back.
again.
10 and
Hash-
2.
Oh man.
Hashtag back.
I can't go there.
10 and 2. Bubba, come on, you back?
No. I love
Back,
going out
question
to
mark?
eat.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah.
favorite thing in the world. I've been thinking about it all day.
What-
And a real life thing that I do hate, when you arrive to a bar late and the person you're meeting is at the bar, but there's not enough seats, they're all taken.
Yeah.
So you have to like awkwardly
Yeah.
stand
Stand behind
behind
them.
them. And like the game's on.
That's
You're
a
there
great-
to watch the game.
Yeah.
That's a very good one.
So you're always in the way the entire time
Yeah.
you're there.
I
It's a good
have.
one.
I have in general entrance anxiety to bars.
Yeah.
I hate walking into bars
'Cause you
and
don't
then
know what
everyone
you're getting
turns and
into.
looks who
Yeah.
walked in.
For some reason, I love
and I'm
that.
like, oh,
But
I feel like I feel like I'm like the main character in a movie when you walk into a bar.
but I am like the biggest doer of that. Like when I'm in the bar, I look every time.
yeah,
Well,
me
yeah, you
too.
have to.
Yeah,
No,
right. I mean,
it was bad when we watched the game at the Hole last weekend, and it was not crowded at all.
Yeah.
So anytime there was probably
oh, it wasn't crowded for that.
no.
Really?
It
There-
awesome.
there was
Wait,
probably-
home game. Normally home games, it's not crowded.
There's probably
Yeah.
like 20.
Well, plus it
people.
wasn't like a big
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. There's probably 20 people there. Like the
Yeah.
bar was full, and then the couple back tables were full, but the whole like front was empty. So like anytime the door even opened, every single person just like
Are
turned
people
like,
coming?
who
now?
the fuck
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Like it was cool.
That's cool. But yeah, is that it?
Has
Yeah.
it been a time?
It's been a time. Follow me Twitter and Instagram at Juice Fisherman. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube, the Juicebox Podcast. Thank you as always for your support, and I hope you have a great first weekend of fall, or you had a great first weekend of
Teddy,
fall.
do you have anything to say? You can catch me at John Theodore Nixon. That's John Theodore Nixon on Instagram. I'm on the Juicebox Podcast Twitter. That's at the Juicebox Pod. It's at the Juicebox Pod. Oh yeah, hit a big milestone this week. I deleted TikTok.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
spending
brother.
too much time on
There
it.
you go.
Hell yeah.
Follow us on Facebook, the Juicebox Podcast. We are not the diabetes, the Juicebox Podcast.
Congrats, JT, for that.
Thank you.
Follow me on Twitter at Bubba Slider. Follow me on Instagram at _Harry Slider. I'm starting to write blogs again. I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
I just have to actually write the blogs, but
Yeah.
but I'm told myself and I'm going to do it.
Good.
It's blog season,
It is.
baby.
Blog
Hashtag
season.
blog season.
I'm only available for comment on Twitter. Twitter handle is at JuiceBoxZar. That's JuiceBoxZar. That's ZAR.
Z as in zebra, A as in apple, R as in Reebok.
Don't get it twisted.
Bye bye.